I'm 76 years old, and it took me most of my life to understand something that should have been obvious. My children didn't drift away all at once. They slipped from me slowly, while I was busy believing I was doing the right things. I'm telling this now because there isn't much road left in front of me. I can feel that. My days are quieter, shorter somehow. I don't need forgiveness or reassurance. I'm not looking to be told I did my best. I just want to tell the truth while I still can. These days the house stays clean without effort. No shoes by the door. No noise from other rooms. I wake up early out of habit, make coffee for one, and sit at the table longer than I need to. I still catch myself listening for footsteps that won't come. When I think about my children, I don't start with the fights or the silences. I start much earlier, when everything felt reasonable. In my 20s and 30s, I was busy in the way people are praised for. I worked long hours. I worried about money. I wanted to be dependable. I wanted to be seen as someone who handled things. When the kids were small, I told myself they wouldn't remember these years anyway. That there would be time later. Later was a comforting word back then. I remember coming home tired, setting my briefcase down, loosening my tie. They would be on the floor with toys, talking over each other, wanting to show me things. I listened with half an ear while thinking about bills or the next day's schedule. I thought being there physically counted for more than it did. Weekends were for catching up, yard work, errands, fixing things I didn't have time for during the week. When birthdays or school events conflicted with work, I told myself missing one wasn't a big deal. There would be another recital, another game, another chance. Those moments didn't feel like choices. They felt like necessities. As the kids grew older, they needed me differently. Less holding, more listening. That part didn't come naturally to me. I was better with solutions than with silence. When they talked, I interrupted with advice. When they were upset, I explained why things weren't as bad as they thought. I thought I was helping. They stopped coming to me with small things first. I didn't notice. That kind of change doesn't announce itself. It just settles in quietly. Phone calls became shorter, then less frequent. When they moved out, I told myself this was how it was supposed to go. Children leave, parents adjust. I took some pride in not hovering, in giving space. I called it respect. What I didn't see was that space, once widened enough, doesn't always close again. The distance wasn't created by one argument or one mistake. It was built from 1,000 ordinary days. Days when I chose efficiency over attention. Days when I postponed conversations. Days when I assumed love didn't need maintenance. I remember my daughter once telling me she felt invisible in her own house. I laughed it off, said she was being dramatic. I can still see her face when I said that. I didn't understand that she was telling me something important, and I was waving it away. Years passed, I retired. I thought things would soften then. I had time. I called more often, asked questions I should have asked decades earlier. But by then they had learned how to live without needing answers from me. The turning point came quietly, the way most real ones do. I ended up in the hospital, after a minor stroke. Nothing dramatic, no machines keeping me alive, just enough to scare me. They came to visit, sat by the bed, polite, kind, careful. We talked about weather, work, the drive over. No one was cruel. That was almost worse. I realized then that I was no longer the place they brought their real selves. I was an obligation they fulfilled respectfully. Lying there, staring at the ceiling tiles, it finally settled in. I hadn't lost them through anger. I had lost them through absence. After I came home, I tried to say things. Apologies, explanations. Some landed, some didn't. You can't rush understanding when it arrives late. You can't demand closeness after years of emotional distance. There are things now that can't be fixed. I won't be there for the versions of them that needed me most. I won't get back the years when my presence would have mattered differently. I can't go backward and sit on the floor with them, fully there without glancing at the clock. I accept that. If you're listening to this and you're younger than me, I'm not here to warn you or tell you what to do. I don't know your life, I only know mine. What I wish I had understood is that love isn't proven by providing alone. It's proven by noticing, by staying when it's inconvenient, by letting conversations run long, even when you're tired. I thought being steady was enough. I didn't realize how often they needed me to be present in ways I didn't measure as productive. Now my time is measured differently. I'm grateful for what remains. I still hear from them. We talk. There is affection. But there is also a distance that feels permanent, like a scar that healed but never disappeared. I sit with that. If this meant something to you, maybe sit a little longer with the people you love today. Not as a rule, just as a choice, one you'll remember later. As for me, I'll finish my coffee, wash the mug, and wait for the phone to ring. And if it does, I'll listen all the way through, without thinking about what comes next.